Well, hey, happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal weekend here and getting ready for the big election ahead and all the awesome volatility we're going to see. Friday was just a wonderful continuation of the kind of things that we're going to be seeing here. Super excited to say the least. So let's go ahead. I want to do something a little bit different. I like to do the videos where we kind of talk about the key things I'm looking ahead for the bigger picture to help our swing traders and position traders, certainly our options traders and everything. But what I want to do is, of course, obviously, as you guys know, day trading is near and dear to my heart as well. So just like Dr. Keith, who you saw yesterday during his special class, it's great to be able to do both sides of the fence there, and it opens up so many opportunities. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about Friday here. This is actually a snapshot. What you're seeing here is actually the training I was doing live there for wealth charters and trading room people, and I was doing this big live class, getting people in there and looking at this. I started at 9 o'clock Eastern there Friday morning, and so this was a handful of minutes into that time. But I want to go ahead, I just found one of the drawings that I was making. I could go through all the drawings, but we'll just use this one as a kind of a case study of what we were talking about, which perfectly prepared people for the big explosion that happened right afterwards. So let's make sure everybody here can learn from that. So as we go in and we take a look here, number one, you'll notice that what I was doing was I was looking at the daily chart, the hourly chart, the 5-minute chart, and the 1-minute chart at that time. Okay, I go back and forth with 1 minute and 2-minute charts in that. So the daily chart was up. Okay, the 5-minute chart was up. The 1-minute chart was up. Okay, but the hourly chart was sideways in the backdrop based on the mechanical way that we identify this. But we noted that we had some really incredible new signals firing off. We had the wealth signal. We had a thing called my launch indicator here, which is a very special tool. We had ITP tools firing off there. We had ITP throttling firing off. We had TRP crossover rising here. Everything was just really coming together, and you don't see it with this picture, but I also had highlighted here how we were just trying to break above the champion trend over here. So we had all these different things going on. Now, what we also had at that point in some of the drawings, we had this negative divergence on the 1-minute chart. Now, at the Wealth 365 Summit, you will recall, I went in and I was training you that divergences are extraordinarily powerful tools, and so you look for follow through to the downside, and if you actually break above those levels, so the sell no longer sells, then it's time to what? Buy, right? And we had a whole master class on that with the powerful tool inside of WealthCharts, the divergence tracker. And so I was highlighting the negative divergence there as well. So basically saying, look, right now we're at this resistance, but we got all these buy signals. We had throttling taking place here, which means after pullbacks, we look for higher highs. So if we could get above that divergence, we were already above daily resistance. That was this little hash mark that I had there and everything. So basically everything, we had at least a solid B, what I refer to as a B plus trade for the long side. So really great trade, right? And so we're just looking for long side opportunities. So I wanted to start off with that, okay, kind of showing that's the background of how we kind of did the analysis. Now, I want to continue in future videos here to train you on more about that analysis and getting to that summation and how that dramatically increases your probabilities of success from my perspective. But let's go ahead and actually bring over then the other charts here that we can move, because that was a photo from my class Friday morning with the wealth charters and everybody. So here's what we were seeing there. Now you'll see this is that hourly chart where we are just starting to break above. Again, you'll notice here throttling down below. You had the TRP crossover. You had TRP buy signals. You had wealth signals. You had breakout forecasters. You had the launch indicator. Don't worry so much about that. It's a very specialized tool for specific people. But you had a lot of other great tools in here. You had ITP indicators firing off left and right. So many wonderful things that were starting to fire off there, and we were starting to break above, right? So that hourly chart's starting to really come around. The 5-minute chart, look at this, right? We taught you about throttling, and what does that mean? After a pullback, we expect what? higher highs, right? And so we were getting those higher highs on the 5-minute charts there. And again, very nice on the TRP crossovers. Love to see that. We also had TRP buy signals in the backdrop. So same thing over here. We had, again, launch indicators. We had wealth signals. We had the throttling. We were above the TRP crossover. We had all sorts of different types of TRP and ITP type buy signals there. And so, and again, we kept getting those TRP buys, and when we broke above the TRP sells, which, remember, in an uptrend, we know all we want to do on the TRP is when we get a sell in an uptrend, we want to break above it, and that's a fresh buy reentry, right? So everything was cooking here, going off, looking wonderful. So then we started getting negative divergences again. And so what I said was, gang, the daily is good, looking good, the 1 minute's looking good, the 5 minutes looking good, and the hourly is trying to break out. If we can break above if these sells don't turn around and sell here, because that's where if we're going to get selling, that's where we'd expect that selling. So if the sells don't sell, boy, that's a great indication of a buy opportunity. I taught you guys that during the summit, and sure enough, look what happened here. So we started taking off, got more and more buy signals. We went ahead and got above even more divergences. And I actually taught you this during the summit as well, where you have like multiple points of divergences to coming together. And I showed you how you can even scan for those inside of like WealthCharts Ultimate there. And so love to see that where you have more than one point coming together, because if you can break above that, whew, look out above, right? And that's what set this market off for the incredible run. And from there, it was just all ITP and TRP and the champion trend pack, just firing off, right? And that set us off for this wonderful skyrocket to the upside. And I want you guys to see how that all came about, right? This all came about there. And so we were able to prepare everybody in advance so that everybody knew what was coming. They could see it, and I appreciate all the people that were so excited about what they did. I don't want to give individual profit things. That's not the point here. The point is I want everybody on this video, because everybody's going to take trades at different times and handle them different ways. So the rather than glaze days and amaze you with profits, what I want to do is glaze days and amaze you with the learning and how the things that we talked about at the summit continue to go ahead and happen over and over and over again. And I promise you, they're going to continue to happen over and over and over again. History continues to repeat itself. As many decades as I've been in this business, human nature is human nature, and the charts just reflect the human nature in advance so we can see it and get the pulse of the human nature of fear and greed right before it's happening here. And so we were able to go and see that and put a lot of these concepts together. And of course, then the market took off, as you guys are aware, to the upside. And then finally, we got a negative divergence that no longer, see, remember what we want to do now. A divergence is a sell, or we want to close out or liquidate, tighten up our stops if we're in a profit, unless it breaks above that, right? So in this case, you'll notice here, so take a look at that. Okay, so now if we get back above that, okay, great, then that could be another run. If the sells don't sell, maybe it's time to what? Buy. But in this case, the sells went ahead and sold, and then the whole market actually turned around and then became, here into the afternoon, gorgeous sell side with throttling to the downside, down to the TRP down below. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Over and over again. The resumption trades I taught you during the show, throttling, everything. Look at those ITP sells. I mean, if you were there, you couldn't help but have this slap you in the face with the incredible opportunities. Okay, just absolutely beautiful, right? And so I just want to make sure everybody sees this. You learn it, you recommit it to memory, like, yeah, he did teach that a week ago at the summit. Wow, look at it. Just continues to happen over and over again. And what's exciting now is going into tomorrow morning, Dr. Keith is going to come in now and take care of all you there and add to this here and add in the Heikinashi component as well. So stay tuned for the special training events tomorrow morning there with Dr. Keith inside of WealthCharts and that as well. You're going to just absolutely love it, putting these wonderful things together. Dr. Keith's done some incredible things here. You guys got to hear about that with his taking the money out of the funding accounts and everything. So he's going to show you some of the strategies strategies that he uses. And we're just going to keep this great education coming and coming and coming. There's so many great things that we have ahead for you guys. So, but I wanted to take this video and kind of keep reminding you of certain core features, and we're going to break down some of these different things and identify them further and further in upcoming videos. So learn lots from us, learn everything you possibly can. We got this incredible election result that's going to be coming out. I mean, you think we got volatility now, wait till you see what's ahead, and you think there's not going to be incredible buy side opportunities and incredible sell side opportunities. What incredible opportunities we're going to have ahead. So I want to keep getting back to the basics and hitting these key things that you need to know from my perspective. Okay, have a great rest of your Sunday here, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow morning inside of WealthCharts and inside of our different trading education activities there. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.